Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Gabriel. Welcome to my YouTube channel Living with Spice. Lovely to have you join me. We're going to be doing a monthly reading for June, and this will be for Gemini. I really enjoy doing the monthly reads because it gives us an opportunity to see how events are unfolding over a period of a larger time frame, obviously 4 weeks. Because things unfold at a different pace for everybody, and it's less about the timing of it and more about, as in the calendar, and more about where we're ready in terms of the events that are happening in our lives, when we're ready to accept the next step and the next stage of our life, and our response to the things happening in our life as well. So that's why I like the monthly reads. It's a good way to be able to get a big picture view. It's a really great way to be able to prepare yourself as well. When Spirit is giving you guidance or a heads up around things that are likely to happen, a monthly read gives you an opportunity to be able to notice when things are happening in your life and how you can best approach it from a healthy point of view. Being able to choose your response from a healthy point of view, and to sort of preempt how things are likely to unfold. So I like to let people know this because the channel is not about giving quick fixes or quick answers. We all have to go through the motions, work through things in our life, do the inner work, but Spirit is very much here to help and guide us along the way so we can make wise choices in our life. The weekly readings are helpful from the point of view we get to hone in and specifically on things that are happening more directly in that time frame. It doesn't always resonate for everybody, obviously, because timing is different for everyone. If at any time you would like a personal reading, my contact details are in the description box below, so feel very free to contact me to organise that. In the meantime, if you do enjoy the readings, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, let them know about it, and if you subscribe to the channel, then you get notifications every time I post a video. It also helps give greater visibility to the channel as well, so I get to help more people. All right, Gemini, let's get into your reading to see what is coming up for you in the month of June. So Gemini, we're going to start with pulling some cards just to get a feel for the theme of things unfolding for you in the month of June. So let's see what's coming up for Gemini in the month of June. Thank you, Spirit. Well, wow, it's very positive indeed. To start with, we've got what's the equivalent of the Ten of Pentacles, beg your pardon. So this is really about a really positive outcome. So we've got this card here, sitting back, enjoying the sun. So this really is the outcome is after a lot of effort, build up momentum, till finally, boom, here is the outcome that you've been hoping for and waiting for. And now you have a chance to relax and soak that in and really feel a sense of relief that all of that angst and the work that you've put in is actually showing its fruits now. And it's such a pleasing result for you. So wherever it is that you've been focusing, one or multiple areas, you are going to receive a really positive outcome. Sort of like the completion of a stage and a phase for you, Gemini. Let's see how the reading unfolds. We have the Three of Pentacles, purposeful action. You're still quite busy and there's still activity going on for you. I think this is like setting the theme for the month. So that's what we can expect is going to be the outcome throughout the month of June. For now, we've got you very, very focused on getting the job done, creating some balance between all of the different areas of your life right now, Gemini, and really directing your attention and your focus on what it is that's most important right now. So it might be a project, your business, you're very focused, you're doing the balancing act here and really paying attention to the detail of things in order to get stuff done. So it's a matter of balancing time, energy, working out what's most important, prioritising things. And yes, you're quite busy actually. An opportunity comes up for you during the month and it needs your attention and discernment. You've got to consider the possibilities here and you're mulling over what this means for you, and it will have implications in the home, work and emotional front. And so you are considering what this means for you, and I get the feeling there may be more than one opportunity that comes up which may present a choice. Yeah, it may mean that you need to decide on what it's going to be. But I think you're still gathering your information. I'm not seeing yet any pressure for time, but what I'm sensing is that there are things that you need to consider, more than one thing, multiple things for you to consider in terms of what you do and what you don't do around career, profession. Does this fit into your personal life? What other things are coming up that you haven't yet considered? So it's wise to give yourself due time and consideration to all of this, and just know, Gemini, that you're going to make the best decision that you know how in the moment. We can never know all of the details. Quite often we have to step out and make choices in faith a little bit sometimes. And indeed, sometimes taking some action is better than no action, of course, as well. But I don't feel that you're rushing this. I do sense that there's a lot on your plate, but I don't feel there's a sense of being impulsive. At the end of the day, we've got a really amazing card called the Sun card, where you are feeling the rewards of your efforts, which is so beautiful. It's lovely to get the accolades, the affirmation, the feedback, to really take in, wow, you've put in a lot of effort and you've got some really great results, and something to feel really pleased about, Gemini. So it's a really fantastic energy. So straight up off the bat, it looks like a good month, a busy month. Let me get that in focus for you. A busy month. I'm going to turn it. How can I do this for you? Here we go. A busy month, but a very productive, positive outcome for you. Don't know if I'm comfortable keeping it like that, but anyway, we'll try. All right, so let's pull some cards from the tarot, the Power Tarot deck, to see how this is going to unfold for you. It's a really great start to the month. Perhaps we can get some clarity around the choices for you that are coming up, what those choices might be. Keeping in mind, of course, Gemini, this is a general reading, so just take those parts that fit. And I often remind people to come back and look at the reading a few times during the month, because it'll prompt you and remind you of things that are coming up and what you can expect and how you can respond, how you can best respond to the situation. Sometimes when we have choices, it can be a little difficult to be clear about how to approach it. So the readings can often help give us that clarity. Well, certainly the aspect of having choices does come up. So you've got the Epiphany card here. You are definitely growing spiritually, Gemini. You're very intuitive. You're feeling a lot of inner personal growth at the moment, a lot of soul growth. And as a result, you're a light to others. And Gemini, when you give yourself due time to be in your own space and to quieten your mind, to quieten your body, you're able to get a lot of those answers and aha moments and, you know, realizations when you are in a place of meditation or mental stillness, which is really important for Gemini because Gemini is highly mentally active. And so it's important to spend time to quieten the mind so you can see things clearly and then understand what it is that you're seeing and perceive it correctly. So the Epiphany card is just perhaps a gentle reminder that yes, there's a lot going on for you. You're having a lot of awarenesses. Do yourself a favour by having regular quiet time so that you can get the necessary clarity, because I can see that the requirement for you to make some significant choices is coming up, and so it is important to be able to have clarity. So we've got a couple of cards here that are telling us that choices are going to be popping up in your life. So we've got the Seven of Michael card. So it says there's a better choice of action available to you. So you're going to be confronted with a pathway, a choice. One will seem shadowy and unclear, and the other one will seem a lot brighter, and the pathway feels clearer. You may be drawn to this one here, but you need to ask yourself, are you able to articulate the outcome that you want? Does that pathway help you get to that outcome? And if not, reconsider your choice. You also do not need to go down this pathway alone. Sometimes when two heads are better than one, that life doesn't have to always be just a me thing. So let me see. So Spirit is asking you to reconsider and to review the details. What are other ways to be able to see yourself achieving the outcome? Trying to do everything on your own sometimes is just, you know, pushing that big boulder up a hill, and why do that? If the pathway and your outcome is going to be more easily achieved with the assistance of others, then consider that. That may be the wiser choice. It may make the pathway so much easier for you when you reach out to get assistance from other people, rather than try to tackle something where the pathway is unclear. It would appear overwhelming when you have to deal with it on your own, and not everything is clear to you. When we choose a pathway that has been well trodden, is known by others, the route is known by others, you have the benefit and the assistance of those who've gone before you. And maybe this is something to be considered, that rather than trying to do it all on your own and sort of like that reinvent the wheel kind of thing, go the pathway where others have been in terms of what can you learn that others have learned before you? How can you benefit from their experience, their support in this space, to help make the path going forward easier for you? Again, we have another situation of being confronted by choice. This lady here, the Eight of Raphael, is considering whether or not to cross the bridge. So with the energy of the Eight of Raphael is letting us know that sometimes we are thinking the grass is greener on the other side, that when we get somewhere everything will be better. And that's not always the case. It can be tempting to go for something that is out of reach, something or someone. But are you neglecting the treasure that you have sitting beside you? So she's not actually looking at the treasure that she has, which could be skills, resources, blessings in her life currently. Instead, she's looking about, well, do I cross this bridge to something that I haven't yet got but I perceive to be better? So take that into context for whatever that may mean in your life, whether it means considering another job opportunity, career path, relationship. So just before, it's not saying to you what you should do, but rather consider what is it that you have now that perhaps you're not appreciating, and is where you're planning to go going to actually give you what it is that you want. So I think it's like you're going to need to trust your intuition on this and do some meditation perhaps to get clarity about what it is that you want. And what truly is the best option for you. And only you can decide that. Only you know what is right for you. So clearly there is a lot of discerning that is required for this month. The Two of Gabriel, again, about choices. Spirit is saying, make bold and ambitious choices, Gemini. Great progress is actually possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision are going to come up. So sometimes we can feel hesitant to cross that bridge. You know, because we may prefer to stay where we're at, perceiving that where we're at is actually better. And so for some of us, you know, crossing that bridge may be too risky. It may feel too risky. Again, there's multiple situations here, but in this card, the Two of Gabriel, Spirit is saying, make the bold choice. Sometimes we need to take a leap of faith and be ambitious. As long as it is true to who we are and true to our pathway, then it's a good thing to do. It's good to be bold and to be ambitious and to follow your dreams. When we do that, great progress is possible because we're believing in what we're doing. The energy that we're putting forward and our intention is confident, it's positive, it has an expectation that you're going to achieve what it is that you want. So being bold and ambitious, we attract that energy, providing we're in alignment with our values and we feel confident that we're moving towards our desired outcome. What's going to come up for you in the month of June, Gemini, are opportunities to connect with people who are going to share your vision. And again, I got the feeling with this card here that on the pathway going forward, there will be people who've already got the skills and gone down this pathway who can assist you. So going it alone won't make sense. So this card here is sort of confirming that partnering with someone or more than one is going to be a wise thing, as in two heads are better than one. So the Two of Gabriel, partnership. Gabriel is often about communication and taking steps to make things happen and articulating that really well and very clearly. Very interesting. Let's see what the Psychic Tarot has to say. So definitely we're starting to see a theme here of plenty of action and the need to discern what to choose going forward. And all of this, of course, we're keeping in mind is leading towards a really positive outcome. So to get that positive outcome will require us to go within and to quieten the mind in order to receive the guidance, and we're capable of doing this, Gemini. And to seek smarter ways of achieving your outcome, which might mean to partner with other people to assist you. This will affect your finances. So the Ten of Pentacles is about how it impacts your physical world, your financial resources, the abundance in life, your quality of life. So your choices will affect that, but there's very much a link to the importance of trusting the spiritual guidance that comes through and being smart enough to recognize how to partner with people to get assistance for the journey in multiple ways at the moment. So thank you, Spirit, for your guidance. Can you give us some clarity around what kinds of choices are coming up for Gemini? There's lots of movement happening here. I do feel, though, there's going to be an element of patience and good, wise discernment is required. Stepping into your Emperor energy, articulating what it is that you want. Your throat chakra is about communication, stepping into your inner truth. That really is coming to be honest with yourself about what it is that you want in life, and to be sure that you're aiming clearly towards that. Because there is a little bit of fear about you making this change. You're feeling a little bit mentally trapped and not knowing quite which direction to go, like you're feeling a little stuck there, and that's showing up in this card here, the Eight of Raphael, like kind of caught between two worlds. There's this element of you feeling caught between two worlds. This is you in this world. Do you stay in this world where you are today, or do you step over into the new world? And that stepping over into the new world, you know, it's a little bit like the grass appears greener, but you don't have any guarantees. But again, if you feel that it's right for you, Spirit is saying go for it. I love the idea of this partnership here, and that there's a real oneness. We've got this kind of rainbow sphere bubble. There's definitely an understanding, being on the same page. These two people are on the same page. They get each other. They're kind of walking side by side to achieve what it is they want to achieve. So if a situation comes up where you get an opportunity to part with someone that gets you and is aligned with your kind of vision, then I feel that Spirit is saying go for it. Regardless of what is your current situation, that feels to me like an energy that's pulling you forward. Okay, so in order to help you progress through this, I feel like Spirit is saying you need to step into your Emperor energy, which is self-confidence, clearly. This person has a lot of experience and wisdom and doesn't doubt himself. And we're not talking male or female, this is the energy. So someone with Emperor energy is someone who has a lot of self-confidence. I'm not saying so much arrogance. Sometimes it can appear like arrogance. I'm just looking for my book. But it truly is probably more coming from experience and having been there, done that before, and not really needing to question oneself. And sometimes when we've got to make a decision, we've just got to step up and make that decision rather than faff about, because, you know, you can faff about in front of that bridge for ages and never get anywhere. And at some point, you're just going to have to make that decision. So the Emperor energy represents the energy of, or the qualities of leadership, logic, strength, wisdom, and power. This card acts as a teaching tool, encouraging you to develop and reignite these qualities in you. Other traits include good reasoning and problem solving, being grounded and learning to develop strong mental control over your emotions. It does look like a father figure here, and there could be someone in your life of high importance or high influence, friend who's helping you to step into this logic reasoning so that you can achieve your positive outcome. Because in order to get where you need to go, you need to be purposeful about what you're doing and focused. So the Emperor energy helps you to come from that inner strength, logic-based problem-solving place, and that helps you to get over the line. It helps you to make this decision about whether or not to cross the bridge. And I kind of feel like you're supposed to. It's interesting because the strength of the message is changing as I'm doing the reading. So you've got to sort of put your energy into structuring plans, putting your ideas into plans, creating some foundations, and pretty much to stop talking about stuff and start doing things, but coming from a place of wisdom and rationality. So that's the advice around how to approach the situation, which is great. Now, the throat chakra is all about communication and being able to clearly articulate what it is that you want. It can also mean that you're in a very creative space too, that you're able to express yourself easily, freely, and it also represents your ability for clairaudience, which means inner hearing. When you kind of receive a message and you've just got that sort of like that inner voice, you're listening to your inner voice, if I can put it like that. And that's sort of like when you trust your intuition, you're able to use this creatively to express yourself. And that helps you in many ways to progress your ideas, to influence others, to express clearly what it is that you want, which is great when you're working with the Emperor energy. It means you not only have the strength and the energy of the Emperor and the decisiveness, but you also have the ability to articulate yourself. And Geminis actually do that quite well because they're the key communicators in the zodiac. So if you're not adopting this energy, step into it, Gemini, because you're very capable of doing that. Sometimes for some Geminis who are very good at singing, that's going to help release your throat chakra, clear it, help you step into your creative energy as well. If you're writing, continue to write. If you're a speaker, continue to speak. All of this will help you along the way. So I feel that you're going to be combining your creative energy with your ability to be logical and to reason, to help you achieve what you want to achieve in June. All right, so we have the Truth card, which I think is sort of similar to the Justice card here. So this is really about acknowledging your inner truth, which means you've got to be really facing the truth of how you feel about things and what it is that you want, and being aligned with that, connected with your higher self as well. Being consciously aware of everything too. Sometimes we get a wake-up call in life that gets our attention and helps us to refocus on what it is that we have to do. For a period of time, you may evaluate the past and the lessons that you've learned and still yet to learn. So, so from this point of view, it's important to sort of use this opportunity to sort of review the past and what you're also still yet to understand. So you're still in that process of gaining clarity. And it may mean that you are in a situation in that time of reflection that you may need to spend some time. When you're facing the truth, it might mean that you're facing also a need to forgive yourself or forgive others in order to move forward. And it's during this period of discernment, as you're reviewing your choices and deciding which way to go and how to move forward. Part of that discerning process is about taking an honest look at the situation, looking at your situation and where you are in your own pathway at the moment, and where else it is that you need to go. It's just as important looking at the past as it is about where you're focusing going forward. and weighing that up wisely for yourself. So nobody else can tell you that. You need to sort of weigh these things up for yourself and really get a sense or a feel for what is right for you. So again, coming back to the throat chakra, it's about listening to that inner voice and to trust what it is that's right for you. And this is going to be largely how you come to make your decisions going forward in the month of June, is really tuning into that. So at the beginning of the reading, when we get advice around you having quiet time to meditate, this is where you're going to get a lot of that inner guidance coming to you, the epiphanies, the spiritual guidance. So there's a lot of inner work here, inner clarity that needs to be, discerned. Yeah, so interesting times. But I feel that as you give yourself this time and space to become aware, you're able to get clarity slowly during the month, and this assists you with your decision-making process. But you really need to come from a space of being honest with yourself and really trusting in who you are and what is right for you. There is a period of time during this discernment where you're making decisions that you feel a little bit trapped in your fear, which is quite normal for people when you're not sure of what the outcome is going to be and how you're going to get there. It's very human to step into that fear energy. So we've got this mental feeling of feeling stuck and feeling trapped. But I always like to remind you that that's a mental energy. It's not always reality. And when we're in this energy, there's a tendency to loop and go round and round. So again, coming to a space that enables you to create mental stillness and through meditation is, one, going to help you gain clarity. Do things that help you to verbally articulate what it is that you want to express. Get into that creative energy, and also start to take action with this Emperor energy, to take steps to be purposeful about what it is that you're doing, and that will help dilute that fear energy. So Spirit's giving you guidance on how to pull yourself out of that energy if you get stuck. Let's see if anything else comes up around that advice. Because we always end up looping when we get into that headspace. If I can find the right card, that would be very helpful. 127. Okay. Yeah, so again, it is going to prevent you from making decisions when we get into that space. So I think Spirit is just sort of saying, watch out for that energy, because you're the only one who's holding you prisoner in this instance. And it might be that you're just going into a bit of fear energy because you're having to deal with new people and conditions in your life. And when people get into this fear energy, many choose to stay where they are rather than step out and be bold. And Spirit has always told us through the Two of Gabriel card to step out and be bold. And people get stuck in this fear energy because they can't see the road ahead. And so they can take the road of misguided, it can be a misguided road to sort of stay with a sense of safety. So in this instance, it's really important to seek counsel and advice if you feel that you're stuck in this energy. So, okay, it's coming together now. So we're coming back to this place of the Two of Gabriel reminding us to be bold and to step out and make those choices. And that means you can't be in a fear energy to do that, but Spirit is advising you to do that. And quite likely it may mean that you step away from what you do know and you do cross that bridge, but you've got to trust your own intuition about this. And remember to follow the pathway where you can see the light more easily and you can get guidance along the way. All right, so let's see what else comes up with the Wisdom of Oracle deck to get some clarity around activities that are coming up for you in June. Okay. Yeah, it is going to test your ability to make choices and to see things clearly. So, you may have a little bit of a battle of the minds here. So again, come back to the reading to recheck the advice that's been given to you, and to reach out to people that may also mimic this Emperor energy, because they will help you to step into your logic mind and your ability to reason if you end up getting stuck in that fear energy. One more card. Okay, so just a word of caution, when you are going into that place of choosing, always be mindful review the details more clearly so that you are looking beyond what is being presented on the surface. So initially some ideas may seem good, but take some time to step back and review the details of the situation so that you can see beyond the surface and not be caught up with the glitter and glamour of what may appear to be good on the surface. Does it really fit your purpose, match with what it is that you want? And it may very well. It's just like Spirit is just saying, be alert, be aware, have that conversation with yourself. Some things will, some things won't, and clearly you're going to have a number of things to look at, a number of choices to consider. So that's just a flag. Yeah, again, it's about co-creating with Spirit in order to determine the best choice going forward. So just, it can be a fine line with coming to a decision around something. So we've got the Owl card up here on the wire, and that again is reminding us to listen to Spirit, to listen to your inner voice, the inner guidance. You will need to take a balanced approach to this situation. This is so interesting because the Throat Chakra card talked about your creativity and stepping into your creativity in the month of June, and apparently this card does as well. That there is a focus on your creativity in the month of June. Sometimes you may not consider yourself to be creative, but in reality we're always creating our present and our future all the time, our reality, by the way we think about things, the way we feel, what our beliefs are, what our intentions are, and what our actions are. But whatever it is that you do, at the end of the day, you've got to remember you're co-creating with Spirit, you're partnering with Spirit. So that's again facing your inner truth, what is true for you, and spending time to call on your higher power. What does that mean? Trusting that gut feeling. When you have a sense of peace within, what makes you feel more at home within, that resonates with what ignites your heart and your passion, you're going to have that experience, and that's going to feel the right pathway for you. Listen to the signals that you get. Watch out for the little signs that happen that help reconfirm, this feels good. This feels more like me. That'll be your higher power. That'll be your inner guidance speaking to you. Whenever we have an opportunity to connect with our heart, that does assist us in making the right kinds of choices. So keeping your heart open during this period of time is going to assist you in knowing what is right for you. And there are going to be moments of inspiration, which is something that you need to listen to as well. So getting into that creativity, listening to your heart and what's you're most passionate, inspired about, all of those things are going to help you in your decision-making process. Yeah. The Orphaned card again speaks about the fear energy that you go into. It's just another affirmation of, try to stay out of that headspace of feeling like you have lost something, or you can't do something, or that you're not good enough around something. And we do experience fear and uncertainty and mental loneliness sometimes, but we make it worse through the way we're thinking about it. And in those moments when we are feeling perhaps disconnected or alone, we have a tendency to feel that we're an island and that it's all on our own shoulders. But that's not a reality. And we talked about earlier in the reading about two heads are better than one. Partnering with someone, partnering with multiple people, appreciating that you're not walking the journey alone. Yeah, it still keeps coming back to being true to your truth, your own inner truth and your value. If you're feeling a disconnect with a person or people or a community or a group, could be work, person in your life, you may feel a deep sense of loss or disconnection for a period of time. And it may bring up feelings for you for a need to feel that you want to belong. And it's okay to sort of recognize these feelings within you. You don't have to force yourself to fit in with someone or a group of people. It's really important to feel that you're aligned with your true self and that you always come back to a place that feels like home for you. And I'm surprised actually we didn't get that card. Sometimes we need to make decisions that not everybody will understand, and that's okay. You need to commit to your own growth and your own path and what is important for you to evolve. And so if a feeling of disconnection happens, that you're not feeling aligned with the person or persons around you, it may be the time that you feel that you need to follow your own personal growth rather than stay in connection with this person or persons. Especially if you feel that you don't share the same values and beliefs. So be clear about your own purpose and your own mission, and take actions that support that in your life, as we see here in this card. So it really is a month of really having to be clear for yourself of what is true for you, and really seeing the truth of the matter behind the way things are being presented. But I feel that even though it may be a little testing for you in terms of coming to decisions around things, this is an important part of your spiritual growth in terms of getting clear about what's important for you and being brave enough to make decisions to move forward in a direction that suits you, even if not everybody else understands that. And really step into your creativity to help you access that passion, that inspiration for what it is that you want to do in life. And don't forget to create moments of stillness to really understand your higher self and the inner voice and the inner guidance that you need to listen to, rather than the fear energy. And if you feel yourself stepping into that fear energy, gravitate towards the Emperor energy, either in yourself or towards someone that represents that and can assist you to step back into that energy. And know that along the way, you are spiritually guided and protected and blessed. There is a reminder here. Let's see how this moves us towards the outcome that we could see in the beginning is a very positive outcome with this card here. We've been told that this is the final outcome for the month for you, with the Sun card as well. So eventually you get there, Gemini. You get there with you know, a lot of positivity, but it may feel like you've had to work hard to get there. But you've got some good guidance here on how to move through that process. And it really does feel like a process of inner working, inner decision making, but remembering that you're not on the journey alone. And I think that's something that's important to remember, that you're definitely not on the journey alone. Okay, so finishing up here, we're asking Spirit to give us some cards for the final outcome for the month. What to expect for the final outcome for the month. Okay, so clearly during this month we're battling a lot of mental energy here. So get very clear about your intentions, and I feel that you need to be able to remove the mask to say either to yourself or to others what it is that you're wanting. Because it looks like you want clarity and you want the truth, and we know that you've been guided to really step into that. And I feel that, yeah, okay. So I was going to say this could be someone else, but it's not. It's mostly you. So in some areas when we are feeling overwhelmed by choice, we can feel a sense of being trapped, as this fellow here has got the rope around his wrist, but he's actually not tied to anything. So it's actually just in his head and in his mind. And so there's a lot of mental energy going on here. Again, it's this fear energy. But it's what you're creating in your mind, not what is reality. So you're actually creating a lot of conflict as a result of that. You're experiencing emotional conflict within, which is represented by this water, this turbulence that's going on here. And, you know, there may be some events, external events in your life as well, that are contributing to this fear energy and this mental anguish. Because, you know, we're dealing with the elements here of which, you know, we don't control. But our response to it is what we control. So there's a lot of stuff that is triggering you emotionally during this month. So in knowing that, being prepared around the understanding of things that are going to come up for you, you can use the guidance of Spirit here to help you work your way through the month to achieve the end result. So it really is quite interesting that whilst we started the reading with really knowledge around it being a positive outcome and a positive month, your challenge is how you're going to work through that and how you're going to make your choices. But nevertheless, you get there, and by the end of it, you're experiencing this true love energy. And what that means here is that you're seeing yourself truthfully and with clarity, and honoring who you are as a person and what it is that you're standing for in your purpose in life. And that's helping to create this beautiful sun energy here of really stepping into that zone of enjoying the life of who you are and moving away from this mask. It's peeling that off, for sure. Okay. All right. I think we're going to leave the reading with that energy. Maybe just pull one card from the Flower Therapy deck. As a finisher for your energy for the month of June. Yeah. So there's a lot of spiritual growth happening for you in this month. We've got communicate with your angels. The bird of paradise represents communications. It represents enhanced spiritual awareness, intuition, trusting your intuition, connecting with spirit. And I think that's why at the beginning of the reading we had the guidance around this Epiphany card about connecting with Archangel Raziel. So joy through spiritual growth, answers that come through meditation. That's that time of spiritually connecting. So this card here says you have the ability to connect with beings of love who surround you. Communicate with your angels and deliver their healing messages to others. So Gemini, you are the communicator. We talked about that with the throat chakra card here. And your ability to bring light to others. This is what you do, Gemini. This is who you are. You communicate. You're using your intuition, your spiritual awareness. And this card here reminded us that you are going to be sharing your vision with others. So there we have it. We're going to leave the reading at that. There's a lot going on there. I would recommend that you re-watch the video a few times and just pinpoint the moments when you're going through that decision-making process of how you can best move yourself through that, connecting with your creativity, connecting with your Emperor energy, not walking the path alone, getting very clear on your inner truth and what it is that you want, and being bold to take action. So that summarizes your reading for the month of June. Lots going on. If you would like a personal reading, always feel free to be able to contact me. And in the meantime, we're going to have the guidance of the weekly reads as well that will help you along the way. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this reading and I look forward to catching up with you soon.